It's officially November, meaning that a new Pokemon game will be around the corner any minute now. And while some media outlets have gotten Scarlet and Violet a little early and shown off a lot more gameplay, I wanted to do one more sort of Halloween-themed episode on a new Pokemon I missed over a week ago. The spookiest, goodest boy in the Pokemon world, Greavard. Although this reveal wasn't as grand or unique as some previous ones, I think these little in-universe videos are a great way of getting players invested and to build hype in the community, so I hope to see more before the game's release. And I'll have to say, for me, this is by far my favorite reveal yet, if not only for Greavard's design alone. To be honest, all the reveals for Scarlet and Violet have been filled with banger after banger designs so far, but this cute little ghost Pokemon is definitely my top dog. And while I admit that maybe for personal reasons that I'll get into another video, this little guy warms my heart more than anything you can imagine. But why do I feel so woozy? Whoa, sorry about that. Greavard is the ghost dog Pokemon, and for now, it only comes with the ability pickup. As you can tell, the name sounds like graveyard and grieve, as in to grieve the loss of a loved one, perhaps in a graveyard, which is overwhelmingly fitting for a ghost Pokemon. However, the name comes with some additional meaning that may not be obvious at first glance. Greavard is also similar to Greaves, which, besides sounding like a 1400s butler, is an animal fat byproduct of making tallow. While tallow has historically been used for cheap candles, hence the candle on its head, Greaves in modern times is used in the creation of dog food. So of course, a dog candle Pokemon. In Japanese, their name is Bochi, which sounds very much like the Japanese word for graveyard, Bochi. Additionally, the characters and pronunciation is close to that of Pochi, which itself is a common name for pet dogs in Japan. While many people are lovingly joking about the candle's resemblance to Litwick, the symbolism behind the candle atop the heads are likely to be very similar. In Greavard's case, there's the tallow, as I mentioned before, but it's likely also a grave candle, a tradition where candles are lit in memory of the dead. And when Greavard buries itself in the ground, it looks like a grave candle atop someone's resting place. Even more fittingly, it also seems to be the resting place of Greavard, as they normally can be found resting peacefully in the state. While underground, Greavard will wait for someone to pass by before jumping out and giving someone a little spook. Although this seems to be more of a funny prank than a genuine attempt to scare you. This is because Greavard is incredibly friendly and affectionate by nature. In fact, giving it attention will make it so overjoyed that it will begin to follow you everywhere you go. Quite a loyal little companion to have at your side. However, they're not all bark and no bite, as their bites can actually shatter bones. So you might want to be careful. And as if that wasn't enough, Greavard will unintentionally begin to absorb the life force of those around them, which is made all the more creepy by the fact that they follow you around once they like you. Almost as if their spirit was brought such overwhelming joy that it tries to become attached to you, desperately trying to drag you into the afterlife with them, hiding under the ground just to jump out and pull you back down with one bite. In terms of which dog breed it's actually based on, well, it might be impossible to say for sure. The likelihood is that it's based on a mixture of different ones. For example, I really like one idea from Hoops and Hip Hop. Hoops is another Poketuber who theorized that it could be based on a Sky Terrier. And if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely check out his video on the topic. Hoops makes some really great work, so if you somehow haven't seen his videos yet, then go check him out after this one. Meanwhile, Bulbapedia states that it could be based on long-haired breeds such as the Briard or the Catalan Sheepdog, both of which are French and Spanish respectively. I like these suggestions a lot. While the Briard is French, the names and appearance are both very similar. And of course, the Catalan Sheepdog is from Catalonia, Spain, a very culturally rich part of the country which itself is known for the Catalan language, a Western Romance language whose influence spans beyond just Catalonia. However, it's my theory that Greavard may be partially inspired by the Lhasa Apso. You see, Lhasa Apsos are dogs that derive from the Tibetan Himalayas. In fact, they were bred and kept by Tibetan monks as watchdogs, protectors, and companions. And yes, you heard that right. Watchdogs, as not only were they used to guard temples, but they also had to survive extreme weather conditions atop the Himalayan mountains, meaning that despite their small size, they have an attitude of a lion. And this lion-like confidence is incredibly fitting for the Tibetan folklore, which believes that Lhasas are actually snow lions, a mythical beast that lives atop the Himalayan mountains. This beast is incredibly important and connected to the nation of Tibet, so much so that you can even find it on their national flag. And while I'm not sure how true this is, it's believed the old saying goes like this: if the snow lion stays in the mountain, it's a snow lion. And if it comes down to the valley, it becomes a dog. That dog being the Lhasa Apso. Despite not being able to find any hard evidence to support this, there may be some etymological evidence in its favor, as the Tibetan name for the Lhasa Apsos is Saengki, which can be roughly translated to bearded lion dog, giving some credibility to the mythical origin. Now, in terms of the Lhasa's connection to Greavard, the most obvious start is the hair. As the Lhasa's hair has developed to withstand the Tibetan plateau, it can grow incredibly long, and much like Greavard, it can often be seen to grow all the way to the floor, as well as covering their eyes. However, I believe the main connection to Greavard comes with Lassa's known association with reincarnation. You see, it's believed that Buddhist religious leaders, called lamas, are frequently reincarnated as Lassas, before being reincarnated once again as a human. This belief is supported by Lassa's keen memory and strong loyalty, which is thought to be part of the reason why they were treated the way they were. Not just being allowed to be in temples at all, but also being charged with guarding them, being treated more as a companion, because, well, it was once your old friend. And if this were the case with Greavard, then it could explain the ghost typing, as well as being super friendly. Doesn't explain the life draining though. That's maybe a little concerning. And if you like people so much, you should probably get that checked out. Greavard is a simple, yet very well designed addition to the Scarlet and Violet roster so far, and I'm hoping that the entire new decks of Pokemon will have bangers just like these. Now I predict that this reveal was so simple because Greavard is just the first evolution of a line. This could also explain why it only got the pickup ability for now. And although I can't say for sure, my guess is that the evolution will focus more on the jaw-crushing power. But my hope is that it maintains this friendly aspect of its character. And with November finally upon us, the release date draws ever closer. With that, more excitement and hype begins to build each day. I have a lot of videos planned for you guys, so keep an eye out for those. But if you have anything you want to see leading up to the new games, let me know in the comments below. And what did you think of this cute little guy? Are you going to have him on your team? Again, let me know down below. Thank you all again for watching. Like if you did, sub for more, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.